From the 1011 Now streaming studio, this is 1011's Morning Pulse.
Sponsored by Murray Roofing.
Good morning. This is Craig Allison here with your Morning Pulse for your Monday, July 15th. Here is what you are seeing in your newsfeed. First up, with just days left before the deadline, Support Our Schools Nebraska is still collecting signatures for their petition drive. Working to get their cause on the November ballot, the petition wants to repeal a law devoting $10 million from the general fund to scholarships to private schools. The group needs at least 63,000 signatures by Wednesday to get the issue on the ballot, and their leader says they've gathered nearly 90,000 signatures so far. In your second story, the Community Blood Bank is getting ready to kick off this Life Summer Blood Drive in partnership with 1011 Cares. According to the American Red Cross, every 2 seconds, someone in the U.S. needs blood, and they say that's equivalent to 29,000 units of blood cells. But with only 3% of eligible Americans donating, efforts are underway to bring in more donors. Your third story, in national news, one person was killed and 2 others critically injured during an assassination attempt on former President Trump Saturday at a rally in Pennsylvania. The Republican National Committee says this week's convention is still on schedule, with Trump expecting to attend. Former President Donald Trump's campaign started a GoFund Me to raise money for the victims shot during Saturday's rally in Pennsylvania, and some of Trump's allies and supporters are sharing the GoFundMe link online, including Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, who is a leading contender to be Trump's vice presidential pick. In lighter news, the Filley Stone Barn, located in Gage County along East Scott Road, is now 150 years old. The celebration was held over the weekend with events, speakers, even a movie on the side of the barn. It was built in 1874, and the structure was built by the Elijah Filley family and was a way to provide income to farmers who helped build it. It took 88 days to build the barn. And with that, we go to our final story, today's temperatures. It's important to stay weather aware. On Friday, a foster mom made her first court appearance in Omaha after allegedly leaving a 5-year-old in her SUV for hours. It's the 4th heat-related death of a child in a car to happen in Nebraska between 1990 and 2023, according to the national nonprofit group Kids and Car Safety. It's recommended to wear light clothing and sunscreen. Also take breaks spent indoors or in the shade, if possible, working during the coolest parts of the day, and making sure to stay hydrated. We're now going to toss things over to our own Bill Rentschler. Thank you for joining me this morning.
Oh, Craig, it's good to be here. Again, thankfully, today is kind of the last day that we're dealing with the heat and some of the dangerous feels-like temperatures. Highs today, again, you'll see a little bit cooler across the northern tier of the state, so that's some good news. That's a sign of things to come for us in the southern half of the state. So upper 80s, low 90s for the northern half of the state, but we're still in the mid to upper 90s. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of us hit the triple digits in the southern half of the state. That's just air temperatures. We factor in the humidity. Again, we still have heat advisories, excessive heat warnings that are in place across the state for Lincoln. It's an excessive heat warning through 8 p.m. Monday evening, so feels like temperatures between 105, maybe 110 degrees possible at times. Craig, I don't know if you know this, those numbers are calculated for the shade. So in the direct sunlight, it's going to feel even hotter. So like you mentioned, make sure you're drinking plenty of water, even if you're not thirsty, taking breaks inside in the air conditioning, putting off those outdoor activities, maybe mowing the lawn. Do that early in the day or later in the day. Don't do that during the peak heating of the day. And again, always look before you lock is the phrase we use, whether it's small children, an elderly relative, or a pet. Never leave those individuals in a locked vehicle for any amount of time. Again, those temperatures can get really dangerous in those locked vehicles very, very quickly. So again, very hot for your Monday. The good news is, though, is Tuesday things start to get a little bit better. Upper 80s for high temperatures. That's actually below average for us, Craig. So that is good news. And then even cooler from there still for the rest of the week into the weekend, with temperatures cooling back to the lower to middle 80s. So today is the last day. Relief is in sight as we head through the rest of the week.
Definitely looking forward to that relief. But thank you for joining me this morning.
Absolutely.
Bill. And thank you for joining us here on Morning Pulse. Be sure to check in tomorrow here at the desk.
You've been listening to 1011's Morning Pulse. Watch, listen, stream on the 1011 Now app, on YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Sponsored by Murray Roofing.